Alright, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a cartoon stylized image from a photograph. Also what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to record the process using actions, and then even create a little droplet so you can automate the whole process. All you have to do is basically press a button and you will have a cartoon stylized version of a photograph. So let's get started. Here's what we're going to end up with, and here's what we're going to start with. So we're going to start over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to record this process. So I'm going to say Window, Actions, and that opens my Actions window here. I've pulled it out. Normally it's like right in here somewhere, yeah, like that. So then you just close it, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say New Action, and I'm going to call this one Cartoon 2. This is my second attempt. Alright, and I'll hit record. So now we are recording, and all the steps that we take will be recorded. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this background layer and we're going to duplicate it by dragging it to the new layer icon, and that duplicates the layer. I'm going to move this a little bit. And on this duplicated layer, what we're going to do is we're going to run a smart blur. So we'll say filter, blur, and we'll say smart blur. And then you can change the radius and the threshold as you like. If you take the threshold up, I'll leave it here at about, let's say 74, and my radius is set to about 7.3. I could take it up or down slightly. Alright, I'll click OK. Alright, so I've got now a blurred layer. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to our background layer, and we'll drag it to the new layer icon again to duplicate the layer. And then you're going to take your copied version and drag it up to the top. So always the newest copy is on the top. And for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to run filter, noise, dust and scratches. Alright, and you're going to pick a radius, let's say that's a radius of, let's say 6, threshold of 0. Alright, and you'll click OK. Alright, and then we're going to run a filter artistic cutout on it. Alright, and you can see what that has done to the image. It's almost wiped it out completely. Number of levels 4, edge simplicity 3, edge fidelity 2. And we'll click OK. Alright, so that's almost wiped out completely. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change the hue and saturation of this image. So we'll say Image, Adjustments, and over here on the left, you can't see it, it's off screen right now, but Image, Adjustments, I'm picking Hue and Saturation. Alright, I'll bring that on screen, and I'm going to take the saturation way up to, let's say, like 80, and then the lightness I'll bring up to about 43. Okay, and then click OK. Alright, so that just colorizes this layer. We're also going to want to take this colorized version and set it. We're going to use it just for its color information. So we'll change the layer blend mode with this layer selected, change the layer blend mode from normal to color. Alright, and that allows the other layer to show through a little bit from below. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we'll click on that bottom layer again, and we're going to duplicate it one more time, drag it down to the new layer icon and duplicate it, then drag it up to the top. And what we're going to do with this one is we're going to run a threshold command on it, Image, Adjustments, and this is off screen, but I'm going to look for threshold. Okay, it's off screen, but I'm choosing threshold. Alright, and you'll see here, there it is. And then we can take this up or down depending on what you like. I'll just click OK to accept it. Alright, so that's a threshold. And we're going to stylize this by going Filter, Stylize, Diffuse, and then you can also choose how much you want it or what mode you want. I've picked the last mode, Anisotropic. Alright, and click OK. Alright, and we want to blend this new layer on top with the other layers, allow them to show through. So what we're going to do is change the blend mode of this layer to multiply. Alright, so now it allows the colored layers underneath to show through. Alright, so next, we're going to repeat that process a little bit. We're going to grab the bottom background layer again. Notice I select it first, drag it to the new layer icon to duplicate it, and then drag this fourth copy all the way to the top. And it's easy now because you can see copy, copy 2, copy 3, copy 4. So this one's on the top. I'm going to do a filter, sketch, photocopy. Alright, and that's creates a white photocopy of the image, and then you can change how many details you want on this. I'm going to change it, let's say, to I'll change it to 12 and the darkness to, let's say, 5, and click OK. Alright, so I'm left with this image right here, and I'm also going to multiply this. So this layer, I'm going to make the blend mode for the layer multiply, and that'll blend that in. So you can see here each layer is adding a little bit more to the project. Alright, next layer, what we're going to do is, one more time, same thing, grab the bottom layer, drag it to the new layer icon to duplicate it, then drag that duplicated layer to the top. Alright, we're going to say filter, artistic, poster edges. Alright, and edge thickness 0, edge intensity 0, posterization 1. That's fine. I'll click OK. Alright, and what I'm going to do then is go filter, artistic, cutout, which is going to simplify the image. Alright, and then I'm going to click OK. Alright, so I've got a simplified image now, and now that I have it like that, I'm going to run a threshold on it. So image, adjustments, it's off screen but it's threshold. Alright, there's the threshold. Okay, and I'm going to set the darkness up a little bit higher. Okay, let's say just like that. A little bit higher, but you can see there's still plenty of white, and click OK. Then, now that I have this black and white version, strong black and white, I'm going to run a filter, brush strokes, sprayed strokes to create almost like these strokes here. And I could change the stroke length if I want, make them smaller or longer, however you like it. Alright, that sounds pretty good. I'll click OK. And since I'm recording this, normally what I would do right now is just take the magic wand and select the black and then delete the black. But let's see, that doesn't record well with our actions. So what I'm going to do instead is say select, and what I want to do is select color range, and maybe this will work better. Okay, I'll take the fuzziness up to about 76, and then I'll click on the black. Alright, the black area, and hopefully that will save well in the actions. I'll click OK. You can see here that that selection is loaded, and then what I can do is press the delete key to delete all that black. Alright, and I'm left with white. So now I can deselect, select, deselect, and then I can lower the opacity of the layer slightly so that it blends in a little bit better. So we'll just lower that down a little bit. Alright, and that looks pretty good. Alright, to continue, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some noise. So what I'm going to do is on top of this top layer, I'm going to click a new layer icon, and that creates a new layer. And on this new layer, I'm going to edit, fill, and fill it with 50% gray, normal 100% opacity, and click OK. I'm going to add some noise, filter, noise, add noise, oops, noise, add noise, and click OK. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run on this an overlay blend mode, which will allow it to shine through or show through, and then I'll lower the opacity a little bit. But that gives the layer some texture or a textured effect. Okay, I like that. Alright, we're almost done. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this background layer, duplicate it one more time, and then I'm going to drag it to the top. And now I'm going to run an image adjustments threshold one more time. I've got my threshold here one more time, and if I want I can darken it a little bit and click OK, and then I'm going to change the blend mode to multiply so that it blends in.